Affordable housing in Luton. Solutions for local buyers. So, Luton. The name doesn't usually scream property paradise, right? But hold on, it's changing. Quietly, steadily, and in some ways, surprisingly. With London prices still sending most first-time buyers into cardiac arrest, towns like Luton are starting to get their moment in the spotlight. And yes, there is affordable housing here. But, big but, you've got to know where to look and how to act fast. Let me paint you a quick picture. A couple I recently worked with, let's call them Jamie and Priya, were living with family in Harrow, both working decent jobs, both completely priced out of anything Zone 4 and inwards. We looked at Luton. Skeptically at first, but 3 months later, they had keys in hand, a 3-bed end of terrace near Wardown Park, and a mortgage payment lower than their old rent. Boom. Why Luton though? Well, for starters, it's on the Thameslink. You can be in St. Pancras in under 40 minutes. That's commuter gold. There's also an airport. Yes, noisy, but handy. Major regeneration plans around the town center and decent schools dotted around. It's not chocolate box pretty, but it's got character. Real community stuff. But is it actually affordable? Okay, so here's the honest lowdown. Luton's prices have crept up. According to the latest UK HPI data, the average price in Luton sits around £280,000. Still, well below the UK average, 286k plus. And miles cheaper than London, 500k plus, but it's not cheap, especially not for locals who've lived here all their lives. This is where things get tricky and why I want to talk solutions. Shared ownership, underrated but powerful. If you're a first-time buyer in Luton, please look at shared ownership. Honestly, this scheme gets way too much bad press. I recently helped a client, young teacher. Early 30s, grab a 40% share in a modern one-bed flat near Capability Green. Monthly outgoings, less than £950. Try finding that in West Hampstead. And the thing is, these schemes aren't just London's leftovers anymore. Developers are actively building them in LU1, LU2, and even creeping into Stopsley. Government schemes, some still alive, believe it or not. Even though Help to Buy is now history, RIP, schemes like First Homes are stepping in. They offer new builds at 30% discounts to local first-time buyers, key workers, etc. I've got my eye on a couple of developments near Hightown Road doing this. If you've grown up here or work in public service, get your foot in that door. Auction properties and doer-uppers. Yes, they're scary. Yes, you need a surveyor and probably a good plumber. But the number of ex-council and probate properties coming through auction in Luton is on the rise. I viewed one on Ashburnham Road recently. Needed everything doing, right down to the boiler, but went for under 190k. A year's elbow grease, and it's easily a 250k home. Mortgage hacks. Yes, they exist. Here's a little trick some overlook. Joint borrower, sole proprietor mortgages. Sounds fancy, but it's just a way to borrow with family help, without them being co-owners. One buyer I helped used this setup with his dad's income, got a 90% mortgage, and avoided paying stamp duty altogether. Little known? Totally. Useful? Massively. Rent to buy and lease options. This one's niche, but growing. A few savvy landlords in Luton are starting to offer lease options, where you rent now and buy later at a fixed price. Think of it as a safety net if you can't get a mortgage just yet. I've personally brokered 2 of these in the past year. It's a win-win when done right. Just watch those contracts. Think outside the center. Let's be real. Central Luton is convenient, but it's not where the best deals are hiding. Leagrave, Marsh Farm, Sundon Park. These spots have bigger gardens, more parking, and lower prices. I've got a semi-detached in Limbury Vale under 260k coming soon, and trust me, it's a gem. The community angle. Here's something people miss, the ripple effect. When local buyers get priced out, communities break down. But when councils and developers actively prioritize local residents, things shift. I've seen it. In fact, Luton Council's local plan is already pushing for more affordable homes and protecting green space. Finally. It's not perfect, but it's progress. Final tip? Get loud. If you're local, shout about it. Register with multiple agents. Tell them you're serious. Don't wait for Rightmove to ping you a link. The best deals, they're snapped up before they even go online. So, what should you do if there are too many options? Talk to someone. Pick up the phone. Pop into the branch. DM me. Whatever works. Just don't sit and wait for the perfect moment. It never arrives. Affordable housing in Luton is still real. You just have to know where to look and be bold enough to go for it. Honestly, I was surprised myself.